It's also striking that your book comes out at about the same time that a book on sort of a similar subject by another Midwestern senator, Josh Hawley, who is very far to the right and with whom you probably share very little. His book does not have the historic sweep that yours does, and it seems far more focused on big tech. But could you talk a little bit about what this moment is politically? Because the failures that you talk about throughout our history have been, number one, failures because the legislation, the laws weren't there, the laws had big loopholes, but also it was a failure on the part of Congress and the executive to sort of focus and prioritize monopoly power. So what does this say about this moment? Is there the possibility that this issue can really come to the forefront?
I think so. And we just had an example of that just 2 weeks ago when my bill with Senator Grassley, which is to change how the merger fees work and basically charge some of the smaller deals less, but the bigger deals a lot more, drop in the bucket for them when they come before Justice or FTC. But it would give over $100 million to those agencies to hire the lawyers they need, because you can't take on the biggest companies the world has ever known with Band-Aids and duct tape. And Senator Hawley supported that bill. It was unanimous when it got through. So that's an example. I've been sitting trying to get that bill done for years now, and it finally got done. I think there is a sea change. Then you get to the next stuff that we have to do, which is harder. It's looking at some of the standards in place. And when you history as a guide, we've changed those standards over the years so that our laws are sophisticated as the people that the antitrust laws are supposed to regulate. And my concern is if you just wait on the courts who have adopted this Borkian version of the world, which isn't even the original intent of the antitrust laws, that is a true fact. So that's why I guess I'm an originalist when it comes to the antitrust laws. And they've gone off in a direction that's made it harder to bring these cases. So that's why in the book, I make the argument, not just about the history, but about the current challenges and how we can get at them on a bipartisan basis by making what are not radical changes to our laws. And one other thing I want to make clear is I was in the private sector. I represented businesses for 15 years. I like capitalism and I want to keep it strong. But capitalism only works, as Adam Smith, the father of capitalism, pointed out, if you do something about what he called the standing army of monopolies. They are always going to emerge in a capitalist system, and you've got to make sure you have laws in place and ways to check them. We have been let our guard down, and as a result, we have these huge gatekeeper companies. I use the example at the beginning of the book of Pharma, where a case involving one company buying one baby heart drug and then buying the other one, essentially cornering the market and then taking the price up. And this is my first antitrust case as a new senator that I knew of, from $85 a treatment to $1,600 a treatment. I find out from a pharmacist at Minneapolis Children's Hospital. From there, a huge lawsuit was launched by the FTC, AG's offices in blue and red states. They lost in court. They lost because of the state of our laws. And when little infants and their parents and children's hospitals can't win, we have a real problem with our laws.